Starting your own company is no easy task. What more if you are putting up a social enterprise? Imagine having to balance making the business a success and formulating solutions to answer a society's woes. Quite overwhelming, right? Fortunately, there's a platform that transforms these purposeful ideas into successful ventures, and they're called accelerators. I'm RJ Ledesma, and our bright idea is Innovation for Social Impact Partnership, or ISIP. Imagine your business as a seed. In order to make it grow, you plant it in good soil. You water it and give it just the right amount of light. But how do you accelerate its growth? Well, you give it nutrients to fertilize it. As for your business, well, you might just need an accelerator to speed up the growth of your enterprise. And that is exactly what ISIP is meant to do. We are joined by Emil Tapnio, the Project Director of the Innovation for Social Impact Partnership, or ISIP. Thanks so much for being on the show. And I guess the best way to start this interview off is for us to better understand what is the difference between a social enterprise and a, let's say, for business enterprise.
The main difference is really social enterprise focuses on the social impact. The social entrepreneurs focuses on how the products and services could actually benefit people who are in the marginalized sector, specifically answering needs that are not usually addressed by the mainstream businesses.
Social enterprise, like you said, it's supposed to work on problems which are not suited to or not being addressed by, let's say, corporations because they don't see it as part of their profit goal. So when you do a social enterprise, are these businesses meant to also make money or not make money?
Of course, definitely. At the end of the day, any enterprise, any businesses should always earn money because otherwise they won't be able to sustain themselves, right? And that's what Philippine Development Foundation and the UNDP saw over the past 2 years, that even if there's over 164,000 social enterprises in the Philippines, the problem is really on scaling up. So the idea is for the ISIP program to assist these social enterprises to scale up, to access impact investors, and of course, make sure that these social enterprises will be globally competitive.
ISIP is a collaborative platform that brings together the network of the United Nations Development Program, the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade Australia, and the Philippine Development Foundation, or PhilDev. In other words, the pain point was saying, okay, you've got a lot of good ideas for social enterprise, but none of you seem to have the correct plumbing, the organizational development to be able to propel yourselves to become internationally renowned or to make a greater impact in other parts of the globe aside from the Philippines.
Exactly.
Okay, so knowing that one, what went on over here? That the UNDP got in touch with PhilDev and then they put up ISIP. Can you share with us a bit more about how this company came about or how this organization came about?
The Philippine Development Foundation, we're actually a non-profit, and PhilDev is headed by a Filipino entrepreneur. His name is Dado Banapdao, who's a big name in the Silicon Valley, and his way of giving back to the Philippines is really to put up an organization that could be a platform from which initiatives on entrepreneurship, education, and innovation will be implemented. And so PhilDev for the past 5 years have been implementing programs that are meant to really institutionalize entrepreneurship.
As for the UNDP, or the development arm of the United Nations in the Philippines, it is headed by its country manager, Titon Mitra.
UNDP is really an integrator, right? So we can bring the government together with the private sector, with the international financing community. So what UNDP can do is work with PhilDev to create a pipeline of bankable projects which can then be brought to the attention of impact investors globally. So ISIP is a program that we've developed to address a fundamental market failure. In the Philippines, you have this incredibly dynamic bunch of young people who want to start off with social enterprises, but often what they find is that their bright ideas can't translate into growing business opportunities. And one of the biggest constraints is access to finance and the lack of business knowledge to grow their businesses. And that's what ISIP tries to fill that gap.
The program targets mature social enterprises who need that extra push. to make them more impactful and globally competitive.
We keep on talking about the idea of incubators and accelerators. And sometimes some people might say it's the same thing or there's a difference between that. But what exactly do you do in ISIP? Is it an accelerator for startups or is it an incubator for startups?
Under the ISIP project, we're focusing on accelerating mature social enterprises.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to select, actually in the course of 3 years, we're going to graduate at least 48 social enterprises under the acceleration program. And among these 48 social enterprises, we're hoping that at least 24 would be able to access bank loan or impact investment. So the accelerator program under PhilDev it's actually a 1-year program, but the first 6 months it's an intensive project we're in, or intensive, how do you say this? One-on-one and
Sort of mentorship that you go
yes,
through with them.
mentorship, access to networks of advisors, so access free use of co-working space, free access to audit, legal, and compliance organizations. So these are the menu of activities or how do you say this, opportunities that social enterprises.
That's great. So we're
use.
seeing really coming in where you bring in mentorship. After bringing in mentorship, you have to look for mature startups or mature social enterprise. And the last but not the least, after going through the mentorship process or the acceleration process, you try to look for the correct investors for
Yes.
that social enterprise. I want to find out more about the secret sauce of ISIP, but we'll find out more about that after the break.